Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Tayo Salam. It's great to have you join us again. Of course, the only topical issue, it's only right to start with it. There's the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They're back in the country after playing a goalless draw in Freetown.
Well, the hungry Eagles did not have anyone to feast on that day because Trust Ekong says they were actually hungry and were ready to feast on anything. But the Eagles just couldn't prey on anybody. They stumbled on that very awful pitch. It ended goalless.
Good thing is they're still top of the group. They're still unbeaten. And they still have their faith in their hands.
Okay, with a group that has Lesotho, Benin Republic, and also Sierra Leone. They have 8 points from how many matches? Four. Okay, also on the program is a new low for the German national team. And Joachim Low, of course, after 14 years, is having his worst run so far with the German national team. They were beaten by Spain 6-0. Ferran Torres on the hat-trick on the 9th.
Ridiculous scoreline, Cecilia, 6-0. Spain.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes.
Worst ever defeat for the Germans in a competitive match. And this guy in Ukraine is under a lot of pressure. It's a new low for him. But the German FA chief, Oliver Bierhoff, somehow still supporting him and still backing him to carry on as a coach of the German national team. We're talking about that later on the show as well. So let's go to the ATP Finals in London, where Dominic Thiem has become the first player to reach the last 4 after defeating Rafael Nadal in a straight set. Cecilia, I just had to chuckle there because this guy seems to have a measure of Rafael Nadal these days.
Yeah, 7-6, 7-6, it ended. It was a high-quality duel, you would say, at the ATP Finals in London. All right, we're starting up with the tennis this morning. Quickly,
Nadal,
Dominic Thiem, Rafael Nadal, I mean, it was going to be a difficult result, of course, for Rafael Nadal or Dominic Thiem, because these guys have played each other so many times. Yeah. And usually, Dominic Thiem just have a way of getting the better of Rafael Nadal. But when it comes to the Grand Slam, he cannot. Yeah. But these are opportunity where he usually get the better of.
So, disappointing, and you can see it on his face, but it's a great learning curve for him. He's not going anywhere just yet. Next season will be even better for Andre Robles. So that's it for the ATP World Tour Finals. Of course, Group Tokyo 1970. Djokovic and the likes will be in action later today. We'll be bringing you all the updates tomorrow on the show. Cecilia, let's get on with it now. Let's come home and talk about marathon.
Yeah, the big fish of today. And I mean, we've enjoyed some tennis. But right now, let's talk about marathon. The Kaduna Marathon is happening this weekend. Oops. I mean, it's going to be big, huge, Kaduna Marathon. And you'll be wondering, how does that work? Remember some time ago where you have the Governor Eruf actually talking about how they intend to really make this big, better, and even the best. So it's set for this Saturday on the 21st, and it's half marathon. And of course, let's just, recall that track when I was talking about the marathon, how it's going to be. And after they'll have our guest joining us on the program.
Yeah. Let's listen to the governor of Kaduna State, pretty much telling us about the vision of the Kaduna half marathon.
Nigeria, the gold-winning Olympics team in Nigeria, members of the press, finance. We want to give our youth a window to have a career that is profitable, that is viable, that is sustainable. It's not only by getting degrees that you can earn a living. Sports can make you more money than 10 PhDs if you have the talent and you have the encouragement. So this is our dream. So I want you to expect more and more sporting activities in Kaduna.
So expect more sporting activities, more and more. Not just the marathon, they're not stopping there. So Kaduna is ready to take it by storm because they have the population, they have everything. They've got the topography and everything you can think of. So if they are introducing sports to that state, it simply means, well, there's so many restive youths in that area. We'll have something to do and something to really think about. We have a special guest in the studio right now, and when you see him, it's all about marathon. Before, when you see his face, like, okay, we're talking football. But now he's into track and field athletics, and of course, marathon is the bigger one because he wants to try as much as possible to make Nigeria one of the destinations when it comes to marathon. Bukola Olokbade is right here in the studio. Good morning. It's good to have you join us this morning.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure. Good morning, viewers. It's been a long time.
It's been a
perfect time to bring you back.
Precisely.
Looking forward to the maiden edition of the Kaduna Half Marathon for Saturday. And we listened to the governor, speaking about the competition, why it's been held and all that. Can you tell us more about the vision of this competition for all those watching?
Let me first of all applaud the governor of Kaduna State and all his lieutenants who are working on this project. The enthusiasm they've shown is palpable, and it's made it so easy for Nilayo Sports Management to be part of this as consultants. And the vision is very clear. There's a new drive towards opening up Kaduna, which they've been doing for almost 6 years. And I'm so glad that the governor understands that sports is a tool that touches healthcare, road maintenance, infrastructure, business, and above it all, is the strongest tool of empowerment for young people, as Cecilia mentioned. Especially when you have a cosmopolitan area like Kaduna, where you have a lot of young people who are also interested in sports. Giving this gift to them from the governor and the STECO committee of Otuba Jimilawa and the commissioner, Professor Kabiru Mato, is just an amazing thing. And so when we were asked to bid as consultants, I didn't even think about it twice. My team were enthusiastic and we all jumped at the idea, and luckily we got the portfolio. And it's been the most exciting working experience for us at Nilayo Sports Management.
Oh,
interesting.
I just want just to let's get to the proper race, because I'm very excited about this. I want to know if this race on Saturday is going to be elite only, because we've seen recent marathons, barring mass participation, mainly because of COVID. What's going to happen on Saturday? Elite runners only, or are you going to allow mass participants as well?
First of all, it's going to be live on channels.
Yeah.
That's a massive achievement.
That's huge.
And yes, it's a mixture of elite runners from almost 15 different countries. And that's amazing for a first-time experience to be able to galvanize top runners. We have a former world champion from Ethiopia coming to run this race. Yes, and we're also giving opportunity to a few mass, not the kind of 50,000, 100,000 you find it. No. So we've also put in place all the strategic COVID-19 proposals as stipulated by World Athletics for road races going forward. So yes, everything has been put in place and we're excited. I'm so looking forward to it because it will erode in road running for the new season. Don't forget that we have the Lagos Marathon in February next year. Tayo Popola is coming up also.
Lagos Marathon, this same Saturday. We'll get to that later.
It's a growing phenomenon that I am so proud of and so excited. And I want to thank the trailblazer, Mikey Temagbo of Okpekpe, for introducing us to this beautiful sport that does not only create wealth for a lot of people, but creates the joy of good health for so many people.
Yeah, he talks about elite runners, the numbers we're going to have. Do we have the numbers right now of how many people that will be participating?
We have 26 elite runners from abroad, from about 15 countries. We also have, we're throwing in almost 30 Nigerian elite runners. Of course, we must look after one.
Absolutely.
So the cream de la cream of runners from Nigeria, Deborah Pam and co. Unfortunately, we lost Goyet a few weeks ago. A runner that I had gotten so close to, like a brother. But the cream de la cream of top Nigerian road runners who have now also narrowed their timing to fight the international runners will be taking part in the race. And yes, other runners will be involved. But to your question, which was...
numbers of elite athletes talked about, you said 26.
So cumulatively about 56 elite runners when you add it to Nigeria, because I don't like us talking down on Nigeria elite runners.
Okay, everyone together, 56,
And, I mean, you said it, these Nigerian guys, women, they find it very difficult to compete, with the international runners, and they're all coming to the competition as well. So, in terms of prize money, of course, I know there's something big for the overall winner. What about for, let's say, Nigerian that crosses the finish line first?
Of course, you know that there's nothing. Our signature at Nilayo Sports is that whenever we do a sporting event, irrespective of sporting event, we must create a prize money for our domestic sportsmen and women. Because for us, sports is the real tool of empowerment. It's unfortunate that governments all over the country are still not looking at the importance of sports. So there was no way we would have touched this if there was no creation for a pool for domestic runners. So yes, to your answer, we have a pool.
Can we get specifics now?
Specifications, because the prize money is really big.
I know. I mean, for the local runners, it's between 3 million, trickling down, and for the elite runners, $10,000 trickling down to the 5th position.
Wow.
And again, this is amazing to find for a first-time experience a state putting together this sort of. And by the way, the race is being galvanized and run completely by Kaduna State. It is owned by Kaduna State. And I think that's a welcome idea.
You know, this is the time for COVID, and questions, of course, about the COVID-19 protocols will definitely be asked, because I mean, we'll go to Lagos Women's Run much later on the program. But then, from what I learned, they said they're going to be creating like more like a cell for each athlete,
Correct.
so they don't have to be, you know, together.
Correct.
Everyone has their own cell and all that. Exactly.
Correct.
So, are we going to be having that in Kaduna?
Of course,
because you know, those protocols and everything.
That's the new running protocol for road races. So any marathon with a good onion should know that you must do those protocols. Because again, don't forget that the Kaduna Marathon is certified by AIMS and World Athletics. Yes. All right. So again, Nilayo will not start any race that is not certified. So from ab initio, we've agreed that every rule of the new running protocols must be adhered to. And we have some of the best medical minds who are also superintending over this race.
Okay, fantastic. Talking about medicals now, because we know when Lagos City Marathon started, the first one, it wasn't, I mean, I would say, I didn't like it. But
it was a learning curve.
Yeah, it was a learning curve. Right?
You brought me here to lash me, I remember. But you've since praised us a lot.
Yes, of course. I mean, since then, I mean, you guys have really improved. So in Kaduna, whatever happens on Saturday, are we going to say it's going to be a learning curve? Or you've actually learned from what happened at Lagos City Marathon? I mean, build on that and get the best in Kaduna on Saturday.
It's a plug and play for us now at Nilayo. And the team led by Sheyi Johnson, who has become a veteran in putting together these races, having a seamless time doing this. So it's going to be a plug and play. But more importantly, because of the cooperation from the Kaduna State government under the leadership of Governor El Rufai, and his superintendents like Otuma Jimmy Lawal, like I mentioned, Professor Kabil Mohammed, the Commissioner for Sports. They've made life so easy for us, and they've listened. You do not consult people and you ignore their expertise.
Okay.
Every expert advice I've been given has been adhered to. And for us, since all of that has been done, then we expect something very decent. So it's plug and play. It's not going to be any excuses.
Learning curve, okay.
I mean, your media brothers and sisters are already on their way to Kaduna, and I'm sure they'll give you a lot of people. Plus, like I said, it's going to be live.
Yeah,
channels.
So we'll have to be seen. The whole world is watching. So that's why the protocol will have to be observed, because pictures will be across the world. Whatever happens, I mean, everyone is seeing it. So it's not going to be...
And that's why we put it on channels.
Okay.
Because you're not scared of anything, right?
We know,
Nothing to hide.
We know we are respecting all the protocols, and that what is being put together in Kaduna is uniquely... is an introduction to what road races will look like going forward.
Lastly, before we let you go,
yes,
we're wrapping up the segments now, is 3 days to the D-Day. In terms of registration, is it still on, or is it all over now? Do people still have opportunity?
So the other thing the Kaduna State government insisted on was that people must pay to run. And that was music to my ears, because we must learn how to do things properly. So it's a paid race, and a lot of people have paid to run. So what we've decided is that we should leave registration until even a day before the race. But people have been picking up their vests and their bibs and their running, their goodie bags, and it's been well organized and well coordinated. So we want more people to register, because we have a number that as a target. And once we hit that target, we stop because, again, for COVID protocols. Like the Lagos Marathon, for example, we've told the whole world, 10,000. First 10,000 to register. I was saying to the chairman of Sports Commission yesterday that, hey, 7,000 have already registered. I didn't know people were expecting this race as much as this in Lagos. And for me, it's good news. We have more running clubs all over Nigeria. In Lagos right now, we have almost 280 running clubs.
Wow.
Who knows, by this time next year, the running clubs in Kaduna would have increased because of this orientation.
Absolutely.
In Abeokuta, where we had the first Abeokuta 10-kilometer race,
Race.
I'm surprised. Running clubs springing up everywhere. And what does that do? What does that do to
culture
nation
is
building?
developing.
What it does to nation building is that it creates a healthy community, healthy life for people, and by so doing, more productive people across board.
Wow, that's a good way to end it,
Wow.
right?
I mean, that's just like perfect.
Perfect way to end it. I want to thank you so much for
Cecilia, always a
coming on the
pleasure.
program.
Power to the women.
Thank you. Power to them. And of course,
Thanks
we'll be
for
talking
coming.
about
Thank
the
you,
women
Cecilia.
later on the program. But we need to go on this break now.
Bye.
We'll come back. We'll be talking about the Lagos Women's Run.
Well, 2020 Lagos Women Run is different from what we've always had. I mean, because of, we all know what is happening globally on COVID-19, and because of that, we have to actually be more creative and see how much we can carry people along, and people can be part of it, and they can run anywhere, everywhere. I mean, what we're doing is change the norms. And it's change the norm in the sense that people can run in their own different areas by not coming together. We have noticed that run is about people wanting to come into a particular area. But with what is happening now, I mean, we have to observe the COVID-19 regulation, and because of that, we had to bring out the running app. The running app is first of its kind in Africa. Lagos is doing it for the first time. Lagos is the first city in this part of the world that are using the running app. And this running app, it's a thing that can actually help you to track your run. It can tell you where you are, how many kilometers you've covered, and we can assess you. We can know when you finish, how long it took you to finish the race, and it's happening for the first time. We are doing this because we want women to receive it, part of it, to have the fun. I mean, these are things that actually assist well-being, because a lot of people feel that they've been home for quite a long time, and they still want to be doing their normal run. They still want to still experience the yearly experience we normally have when it comes to Lagos Women Run. Actually, the fun fair and all that. However, we might not be able to do as much fun fair we used to do, but at the same time, people are going to be happy. The international athletes coming in, one thing they know, before you can actually board the plane, there are regulations that you must abide by. And when you get to Nigeria, you know the number of days you have to be under quarantine. And for this run, we are not welcoming any athlete that will be part of this race that have not stayed in Nigeria for at least 14 days. We don't welcome that. And internationally, I think Lagos City is one of the best cities that the international body are happy with, because when they got to know that we're having a running app, they were surprised. I mean, and that's what happened during the London Marathon, and they're seeing that Lagos City can be able to develop a running app that will, track people, that people can use in different parts of the world, which is a plus to the state.
If you look at standard of marathon all over the world, I think Nigeria, we are being rated probably now number 9 in the world because of our organization. Because we are being taken because of what we did with Access Lagos City Marathon. I think Women Run also, they are following suit. They are doing the right thing. They're consulting. And I think this is the only Women Run in Africa. And I think we should make sure that it is done properly. We'll maintain the COVID standard, so you don't know where the pictures will go to. You don't know who will see them. So once we achieve that, I think we are good.
A whole lot. I mean, virtual app, virtual race is a whole new one for the Lagos Women Runs. You heard from Tayo Popola, who is the general coordinator of the Lagos Women's Run, and also Yusuf Ali, Olympian, and also technical director of the Lagos Women's Run. In this studio, we have a special guest that is also joining us. She's a judoka, and she just won some laurels at the African Judo Championship right there in Cameroon. She's back home, and this is she came back last night, right? And this is the first place she is actually coming in. Enku Ewa, right? Okay. Yes. Thank you for coming to join us this morning.
Thank you very much.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
How was your trip back?
It was okay, but I had a little headache because of the journey.
The whole journey and all that.
Okay
How
now.
long was it?
Like 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
We stopped at Abidjan first, then Lome, then Lagos.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Anyways,
Traveling
you're
within
back,
Africa,
you're
yeah,
landed
which is important.
Safely. Also, thank God for our journey. Mercy, let's talk about why you're here now. And I can see the medal there. Looks like gold. Am I right?
And bronze, yes.
And bronze.
Okay, show us all the
that's
medals.
two.
Let's see. Like, okay,
Oh,
you have a bronze
fantastic.
medal and a gold medal.
Yes.
So this is
Fantastic.
really great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank
indeed.
you.
Dan,
Thank you
so
very
let's talk
much.
about the competition itself. African Judo Open
Yes.
in Dakar,
And-
Senegal. Where else?
And Cameroon.
Cameroon.
All right, so let's start with the Dakar event. You won gold in that one.
Yes.
We're going to be seeing pictures of your fights, and you kindly take us through and tell us how it all went down in the final.
In the finals, I met 2019 African champion, Helen Wazoo. She's like the best in Africa right
Wow.
now. So we met last year in Yaoundé, and I also defeated her. So I met her this year. And I was like, okay, I did this before, so I can do it again. And I've trained for this, so I'm prepared. So I went in, and when the whole thing happened, it was just like a reflex. I was like, wow, did I just do that? Thank God I won this fight. And I'm like, thank God I'm able to go through training and win a competition, and God's grace all the way.
Interesting, because
Yeah.
your opponent is very experienced.
Yes.
She's about 33 or thereabouts.
Yes,
So, I
33.
mean, she's way older than you. But
And she
you
has more experience.
Yeah, you somehow managed to beat her back-to-back now.
Yes.
Wow.
Interesting. I mean, you competed at the weekend National Cadet Junior Senior Championship. That was just 2017 as a junior, and you won gold. Then as a senior, of course, the Yaoundé Championship in Cameroon. 2019, the one you just mentioned, you won silver. Then at Dakar, Senegal, you won a bronze medal in 2019 also. Then 2020, Yaoundé, another one. Now, this has been building for you. Of course, you have dreams, you have aspirations outside in Africa. What are the chances of you competing at the world stage and also the Olympics when Judo is going to be introduced to the Olympics by, I think, the next Olympics, right?
Judo is already in the Olympics.
Is it the Olympics? Oh, okay.
Yes.
I think I'm missing judo with
Karate.
that karate. Yeah, I'm missing it up.
Karate,
Yeah.
yes.
So judo is already at the Olympics. So
Yes.
what are your dreams?
For now, just to accumulate points in the IGF, because in judo, you need to attend series of competitions, which my sponsor, Akugas Savannah Energy, is making it possible for me to attend. So you have to attend series of competitions and accumulate points. So like this competition that I had the bronze, I have 50 points, and this competition that I had the gold, I have 100 points.
Wow.
So altogether, I have like 270 points, and you need to get to 1,000 points before you can qualify to go for the Olympics in judo.
Okay, interesting. So you do have so many tournaments to attend, like
Lined up?
Yeah.
Yes.
How
Tell us
many
about it.
do you have lined up now to attend?
For now, I have African Championship December 17 to 20 at Madagascar.
Okay.
And for next year, for now, IJF has really gone low on the competitions. They are not hosting a competition because of COVID. So from next year, they'll bring out
More.
new calendar for athletes to attend.
So you can know which ones are to go for. Wow, it's looking very, very good for you indeed. Of course, it's only right for us to know why and when. Why did you choose judo? I mean, you could have chosen any other sports, more lucrative sports. Why judo, and when did this all start for you?
Like it started when I was practically in the belly.
Okay.
There you go again.
Okay, all right. From the mother's womb. All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
My mommy is an Olympian. My dad is
Okay.
a coach.
Okay.
So growing up, I just grew up to judo. Not as if I didn't try any other sport. I did karate, but I didn't really feel it. So I said, it's judo. I'm going for judo. So I like judo.
Okay, karate was the one you tried. You didn't try track and field. You didn't try.
I did
maybe
try track and field, but
Okay.
after my secondary school, I stopped because I didn't feel like running. And I don't really have the stamina to run, but they say I have the structure to run, but not stamina. That is it.
Interesting. Of course, it's because your parents, were into sports already. It was easier for you to just quickly blend in. You didn't have any issues at all trying to go into sport, especially judo.
No, and they understand. They understand when you have injuries, they're like,
Yeah.
you do this, don't do this. When you're training, they'll be like, you have to go harder, and like, they're very supportive. And
Yeah, great support.
and no other coach will understand you like your parents
Of
will
course.
do. Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
So that's definitely been an advantage for you, and that's why you are where you are at this time. So,
Yeah, interesting. I'm looking at, okay.
I mean, because, okay, carry on.
Yeah, I'm looking at, your CV and all that. You're also a member of the Akwa Ibom State Judo Referee Association. How did that come about?
Before I really started competing,
Okay.
because you have to train. So when they host small competitions in Akwa Ibom State, I'll be like, okay, since I'm a judoka, let me referee, because if you referee, you know more rules about judo. So that's how I was put in the refereeing this thing. But I'm not really into refereeing, because
Okay.
if you are a referee, you can't compete.
Yes, that's
so
something like-
just competition for
Is
me
it
now.
working for you? Okay,
Yes.
so for now,
Yes.
it's focused on competition,
Competition,
because
yes.
I was looking, I'm like, how does that work? I mean, is it allowed
doesn't.
now or something like
No, it
that?
doesn't.
Okay, that's a good one. I mean, you've done so many things, also Red Cross and all that, so it simply means you're doing some other things outside just focusing on sports.
Red Cross, you need Red Cross we went for IGF course last year or 2018, where the IGF from there comes to the African country and educates them. So without Red Cross, you're not allowed to participate in the program. So yeah, we took part in Red Cross programs so that we can attend. Yes.
All right, fantastic. Uncle, you've obviously done very well for yourself, right? So that's great. But let's talk about judo as a sport in the country. Where are we at with our sports? Where are we at?
We're in a good place.
Good place? Really?
Yes.
Okay, tell us.
Tell us about it. Who else is out there doing great things for judo apart from you? You're in such a great place.
Last year we had a team go to Cameroon, Yaoundé, and it was sponsored by our president, Prince Insirim.
Yeah.
So, because I was the only one that came out with
Medal.
a medal, I got a sponsor.
Okay.
And the person I went to last year, he also had a point, but since he was not really, but he's good. So,
But
judo in Nigeria.
Come on, say, let it out. Where we are in terms of development,
we're not really like recognized. We're not given the opportunity to shine, because if we were, we'd have had like 5 of us, because there are good judokas out there, like people that are really eager to compete and represent the country, but there are no fundings. If corporate companies can come out and pick like one athlete and sponsor, judo will go very high in Nigeria and in Africa.
You're just one of the lucky ones,
I'm
because
very
you've got a
lucky.
sponsor and all that.
Yes.
Because, well, you're good. I mean, because they said success attracts so many friends. And so that's why you got the attraction and all that. Maybe, hopefully, I mean, you mentioned that the president even had to sponsor some of you guys to the championship and all that. So, I mean, maybe more money coming from the ministry, supporting the federation. That will also help in grooming younger athletes who wants to compete. Because when there is no fund, it's difficult for parents to want to spend their money and allow their child to compete and also go represent Nigeria without support coming from, the sports ministry and also anywhere else.
And the minister is on record as saying, trying to support every sport.
Every
out
sport.
there. This is an opportunity. Judo is, is an Olympic event, and it can actually bring laurels to the country as well. Enku, what is your relationship like with other mixed martial artists like taekwondo, karate, and Nigeria? Do you guys have like a special relationship even though you don't do the same sports?
Yeah, we do.
Do you know, for example, Elizabeth Ayana Cho?
No, I don't.
You don't know her?
Yes.
She's going to represent Nigeria at the Olympics in taekwondo.
Yes,
the first
she qualified,
female
yes.
to do that.
Yes, yes, yes.
You've never met her before?
I've never met her. I just watch her on television. And
Okay.
I'm very happy for her that she qualified. I hope to be there. Like,
At the
I hope
Olympics,
to
yeah,
qualify,
2021 in
yes,
Tokyo.
2021, yes.
Hopefully so, you will be there. Well, I want to thank you so much. I mean, you're just coming in. You came in yesterday, and this morning you're right here in the studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and
It's great
hopefully,
to
I
have
mean, we want more wins so that we can always bring you back.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Now let's talk about the big big one, the elephant in the room. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, they're back in the country after playing a goalless draw against Sierra Leone. But it must be said, they still remain unbeaten in Group L, and they are top of the group. Cecilia, I don't know what kind of gesture you're trying to do.
Nothing.
Do you want to tell Nigeria what you just
No,
did
I mean,
now?
I'm like, I mean, I remember when this draw came out, what did I say? I said, look, I mean, maximal points from here, and we're going to score, see goals. And
You
I
were
just
so
expected, now I was so
confident.
confident. And
Yeah.
right now, my confidence is actually broken.
Of
Yeah,
course,
I'm still
understandably.
confident. I mean, I'm still dreaming and all that. Look, I know we're going to qualify for the Nations Cup. It's a no-brainer, you understand? But then when you play Sierra Leone, and Sierra Leone are taking points off Nigeria, home and away. So you're kind of sad. That's why I'm sad this morning. You know, that's where the sadness comes from. And of course, yes, I wouldn't rate the Super Eagles at all with the game they played yesterday. First, I mean, it was I mean, how do I put it? I mean, the camera angle and everything was bad. The pitch was bad. Everything was bad. So there was nothing to really say. You really can't rate the players with the kind of pitch they played on. And I don't understand how CAF decided and said that pitch was good enough for the Super Eagles to play on. I mean, no, not even a club can play on that pitch that we saw, except it's the camera. But then that pitch was awful. Outside that,
let's not get started on the pitch, okay? The both sides played on the same pitch. The Super Eagles...
It's their home.
Yeah, but it's played on the same pitch. They came to Nigeria, they scored 4 goals. So, home and away, if it was a straight-up knockout situation, Sierra Leone will be advancing on away goals rule. But thankfully, that's not the case. The situation is the Super Eagles have failed to beat Sierra Leone, ranked 120th in the world. I mean, the gap is massive. It's ended up being a very disappointing 2 games for the Super Eagles now, and it's very palpable, the disappointment. You can feel it from the players, from the coach. We were still waiting to get the reaction, you know, all of that. So it's not been a great couple of days for Nigeria, but it is what it is. And fans, of course, are very, very disappointed. You can talk to us on Channel Sports this morning. You can send your tweets. What is your message for the Super Eagles of Nigeria after what happened yesterday, playing goalless against the Leon Stars? You can talk to us on channels_sports. And Cecilia, the messages are already pouring in. And we will be careful to take the ones that we can take that are not too harsh and all of that. But we'll be doing that after we go on this break. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Your tweets are already coming in, and we'll be taking them shortly. But before that, let's talk about superpower in terms of football. Germany were in action yesterday in the UEFA Nations League match against Spain. They needed just 1 point to advance into the Final 4. But guess what? They ended up getting thrashed 6-0. Ferran Torres scoring his first career hat-trick in that game. And look at Manuel Neuer on the ground there, Cecilia.
Picking up all the goals.
What kind of result is
it's what he did to Barcelona and Atletico Madrid and all that. I mean, he was just having fun. I mean, just laughing off and on. And then the ball kept rolling. He understood there. This is it. And the Spanish team, of course, we know that Barcelona, Atletico, most of them play for Spain. So it's like a payback. This is at the Nations League. And of course, they will not be in the Final 4 at the Nations League. England, of course, are not going to be there. But Germany also will not be there. Just like what happened at the World Cup, you think that was a fluke. But since the 2018 World Cup, the German national team...
They've been on the decline.
They've been on the decline. And of course, I mean, this man, I don't know, he's not under fire at all. I mean, this expression,
he is under fire, and all that.
But he's under fire because... we know the directors, I mean, are actually backing him and say, look, I mean, he can build a team. But Mesut Ozil tweeted something talking about bringing in Boateng and Mans Hummels, some other players that, you know, were asked to leave the national team after 2018. Mans Hummels, you know, Boateng, of course, Mesut Ozil had to retire and all that because they were the ones that were being, you know, given the, I mean, kind of, you know, scapegoats. And those guys left the team. And since then, they've been trying to build. But it's difficult to build with a young team. Yeah, so because of that, you're now going to bring the oldies back. Is that, how's that supposed to be? That's not my suggestion. That's not me. I'm just saying that's what Mesut Ozil tweeted. After that, I mean, defeats. They've never, I mean, Germany, 6-0 conceded. This is the worst ever competitive loss. So that's why we were really pained by it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where Ozil is coming from, but I don't see that. How's that supposed to be a solution? Bring back Hummels, Boateng.
You're trying to say they're lacking leadership in the team right now, and that's going to fix
Precisely.
it.
That's what he's
I think
thinking.
a lot just went wrong on the day. This same Germany thrashed Brazil in the World Cup knockout stage 7-1.
When
So
was
it can
that,
happen.
Tayo? That was
Cecilia,
2014 World Cup, right? So how many years later?
No, I'm not even. My point
6 years after.
My point is, it can happen to the
It's
best
not
of
the same
sides.
team.
It can happen to the best of sides. We've
Okay.
seen great sides get absolutely demolished. Barcelona got demolished in the Champions League last season, so just a few months ago. So these things happen. I don't believe in a knee-jerk and reaction. Now let's bring back a Boateng now, like Boateng is some kind of world saver. No, it's not. It's not in his prime. Again,
Because he
that's a
don't have
fact.
defense. I mean, he's just saying they need leadership. That's what he's
I
trying to
think
say. Yeah, leadership.
I think the issue is.
What about Matt Hummels and some of the players?
Matt Hummels, I mean, they
Yeah.
are still decent players. But my own problem is the coach. I think the coach has been there for too long.
And
He's
he's
been there
becoming
forever
too
now.
comfortable.
Yeah, and they might just have to move on from Joaquin Low. Anyways, Joaquin Low has been speaking on exactly what happened. He's been trying to rationalize the situation. Debacle last night. He says it was a really bad day for us. Nothing worked out. Neither attack nor defense worked well for us. After conceding the first goal, we gave up our ideas, ran around aimlessly like chickens. Had no organization, left open spaces, and that was deadly. Tonight, that was a deadly scoreline, 6-0, tennis scoreline against Germany.
Yeah, there have been 7 to spell full
It could have
Germany.
been more, actually, Cecilia.
Yeah,
They
it
missed
could have been more.
several other
Scoring
clear-cut
chances, yeah, it could have been more.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
that's for Germany.
For Germany
That's
now.
their headache.
Now, let's talk about the one that's also giving us a little bit of headache and disappointment this morning, though. I mean, it was kind of necessitated. That's according to
was inevitable,
FIFA. They said after consultation with other federations across the world, the confederations, national associations, and all, they decided, look, it's the best interest to cancel the under-17 and under-20 Women's World Cup. So initially, it was postponed to 2021. India was to host the under-17, while Costa Rica, of course, under-20. But right now, from all indication, it will no longer take place because the FIFA Confederation's COVID-19 working group subsequently recommended that this should be cancelled and the hosting rights for the 2022 edition should be offered to the countries that were due to host the 2020 edition. That was the release that FIFA actually made public to everyone. So India will host the 2022 Under-17 Women's World Cup, while Costa Rica will get the chance to host the 2022 Under-20 Women's World Cup. So that's how it's going to be. So for Falconets, we're so sorry. I mean, you girls, I mean, I remember when they were in Abuja, earlier this year and all that, in camp, preparing and thinking they were going to be going to the World Cup. That will not happen. And for the Flamingos, who just have one more game to play against Ghana, doubleheader against Ghana to get to qualify for the under-17, that will no longer happen. I believe that CAF will definitely come out with, a logical timetable for everyone, to play the games and for them to qualify for the tournament. But that's going to be in 2022. So everyone will have to go home and rest. And I hope that maybe next year they can just be in action, maybe play some few friendlies against each other or something like that. If not, these girls will not be playing football until 2022. Okay.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, COVID happens, and so things happen like that.
Okay,
bad. You know what? Let's take some tweets before we go to the papers, right, Tayo?
Yeah, of course we have to. And let me start with Bolarinwa. Bolarinwa is saying, your message is very simple. Fire Raw. He's not the right man for the job. Bolarinwa, that's the message this morning.
Okay.
What else?
All right. Abosun said, by now, we should be looking beyond these qualifiers and be asking questions about this current technical team. Personally, I don't think Raw has all it takes to deliver us at the Nations Cup. To deliver us the Nations Cup. Okay, and HJ said, it was a great match in Freetown. I think Amaju Pinnick should never make such comments on camera. Apart from that, if we are going to keep Raw, he must need some technical help. And
technical help. Okay.
Big Balochi says, I was heartbroken and my friends made fun of me when the final score came out. I believe so much in this team and wish them more wins ahead. Thank you. Yeah, that's the best way to go. More wins ahead. It's not all over. We didn't lose the games. It was a draw. But then we're playing against a team, Sierra Leone, 126 ranked in the world. It happens. Football.
Okay.
And Igbo says, you can play a country like Sierra Leone and drop off points and expect the fans to cheer you up. Both legs were totally disastrous. He said you can't play a country like Sierra Leone and expect the fans to cheer you up. So both legs were disastrous. Yeah, good morning.
David Odiri is saying whenever the Super Eagles play any low-ranked team from 100 downwards and they fail to win, they shouldn't be paid the allowances.
Okay, that's harsh.
That's
Okay.
harsh, but I mean, that's his opinion, David Odiri. What else now?
MD Special, let me take this one coming from MD Special. He says, I'm happy we did not lose the game. But honestly, the coach has nothing more to offer technically to the national team. It's high time the NFF look for a better option. And then Lochi also came to say that I believe this squad is a good one, but I want the coach to improve on the midfield area and drop Onuachu from the starting lineup and make use of
Onuachu didn't
Emmanuela
start.
Dennis. Okay, all right, you have so many coaches here. Okay. Maya Wase, bad pitch, long balls, those are another excuse from Raw. Raw has turned himself to politicians, which always give excuses for failure.
Shegun, Henry, Ahmed, we have your tweet as well too. But yeah.
Yeah, just take those two then.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, let me just take those two now. Worst performance ever. This is from Henry Ahmed. Worst performance ever. They can't even claim one win from 2 legs against Sierra Leone. Shegun, you're saying this team is one of the best we've had after the 1994 to 2000 set. It's so amazing how badly they play. Never dominated any team, very unorganized, and the technical crew should be changed. This should be one of the best in Africa if properly managed.
Yeah. Okay, shout out to, Ewa that was on the show. This is coming from Enakena.
Okay.
He says, congratulations to Ewa Ekuta for winning gold medal in 63 kg category in Africa Judo Open. She's multi-talented and gifted. We hope the multinational companies extend their benevolence by helping to sponsor, giving them endorsement and scholarships as well. Yes, that is needed.
Very
That's the way we're going to
necessary.
end. There's so many tweets coming in. Well, don't worry, tomorrow we'll try to take more of that. Quickly take a look at the paper side if we have time.
Just quickly.
Okay, I'll do Sporting Sun. Qualifiers, Eagles, Super Eagles move battleground to Benin Republic. Okay, this year they ended this year winless, right?
Yeah.
2 draws and 3 draws and 1 loss. That's Super Eagles for you. Complete Sports is the last one. Osimhen can do great things like Where and Drogba. Eto, that's what Eto is saying. Of course, AFCON qualification delayed. That's on Complete Sports.
Yeah. Lastly, Sporting Life. Geno Ross says Eagles still on track. Of course they are. All they have to do is get a win against Benin Republic. Etebo injured. He was taken out of that game, and meaning the midfield options keep going down by the day. And COVID-19 test, Eagles test negative, of course. That's not really important at this stage. That's it for the show. Of course, we'll continue to take your tweets tomorrow because reactions will continue, Cecilia, trust me.
Of course, for the next 1 week, I know that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Tayo Salami. Enjoy the rest of your day.